Good evening, CBC listeners. I'm Henry Caswell, and tonight we'll be on call with a woman of color all the way from Nova Scotia. You'll learn of her story through a Nova Scotian magazine called The Clarion. Please help me, ladies and gentlemen, in welcoming Viola Desmond. Now, Viola Desmond was born on July 6, 1914, and is currently 48 years old. She has undergone beautician training from Atlantic City, Montreal, and New York City. To start us off, Viola, could you tell us about why you chose to go to other schools that are not in your province?
First, I would like to thank you for this opportunity you've given me to explain about my story. As a teenager, I always wanted to open my own beauty salon. In Canada, although it's better than the States, there are fewer opportunities for Black women. Being of African descent, I was rejected to train as a beautician in Halifax. I then decided to go and train in New York, Montreal, and Atlantic City. When I returned, I got the chance to start my own salon.
Well, for our listeners at home and those who don't know what happened when you're convicted, could you tell us about the day you were arrested?
It was a normal November evening when I was driving across the province and my car broke down in Glasgow. I decided to go see a movie while I waited for my car to be fixed. I went to the Roseland Theatre, a brick building with a big sign that lit up. I got my ticket and went inside. I chose to sit up front, close to the screen because I was nearsighted. Just as the movie started, a staff told me that I had to go to the balcony. I went back to the ticket booth and I explained to the staff about my eyes and if it offered extra money for a seat in the main floor. When they said no, I just went back to my seat. That's when I realized what was happening. The same thing that happened to Carrie Best, who was forcibly removed for not moving from the segregated white sector. When the manager came, he threatened to call the police, and I simply refused.
What happened when the police arrived?
When the police arrived, I was still sitting down watching the movie. They forcibly removed me and injured my hip. I stayed in jail the whole night, and I had to pay a $20 fine.
What were you charged with?
They accused me of depriving the government of 1 cent, a single cent. The tax on the balcony price of $20 was 2 cents, while the main floor price of $40 was 3 cents.
After being convicted for only 1 cent, did you do anything to clear up your name?
Upon returning to Halifax, I discussed the matter with my husband, and his advice was to let it go. However, when I sought the advice from the leaders of my church, they encouraged me to take action. With their support, I decided to fight the charge in court. In the process of fighting a lawsuit against the Roseland Theatre, I was accused of tax evasion. My case was later dropped after my lawyer appealed on the decision of me being wrongfully accused of tax evasion.
I would like to have some questions from the media. First, you there.
So we know that you're in the process of building a school. Is there a reason behind it, even though you could have just built another salon?
The reason I decided to start my own beauty school was because having experienced the discrimination I received from the schools in Halifax, I feel that it's important for women of color to receive proper training in their own province, and they shouldn't have to travel as far as I did.
Is the Desmond School of Beauty Culture only limited to women in Nova Scotia?
No, the school is actually open for everybody. For this coming year, we have a few women coming from New Brunswick and Quebec City. The school will provide skills required to open their business, which will provide jobs for other Black women within their communities. Both my school for beauty training and salon are going to allow women all over the East Coast to come and receive proper training in special hair and skin products.